Born in Kansas City, Missouri, Edward Asner grew up to be one of the finest American actors of all time. And though he moved away from America's heartland, he never forgot it. His performances on stage, screen, and television reflect an honesty and strength of conviction that mirrors his own values. His film credits include El Dorado with John Wayne, JFK with Kevin Costner and Jack Lemmon, Fort Apache the Bronx with Paul Newman, and as the animated Carl Fredricksen in Pixar's Up. He's won 5 Golden Globes and 7 Emmys, and he's the only performer to have won Best Actor in both the comedy and drama categories, and he did it as the same character. Ed went from TV news editor on The Mary Tyler Moore Show to newspaper editor on Lou Grant, and we loved him in both shows, and he's with us today. Welcome you to the program. Good to see you.
Thank you, thank you.
And you were going to correct something on the introduction.
I was born in Kansas City, Missouri, because I don't know, I guess they didn't have any hospitals on the Kansas side at that point. But, and I can't find my birth certificate, so we don't know.
Well, they're looking for Obama's birth certificate,
yeah, that's that. Yeah, I hope they look until they exhaust themselves. But I'm basically a Kansas boy.
Yeah, okay. Well, I did some checking with some of your friends, and I want you to admit to something that's probably embarrassing. I talked to some of your buddies, Abby Singer and Bernie Alzaransky, and they said back in the day that you went to an Italian restaurant with them right after you had, I think it was hip surgery. Mm-hmm. And the doctor specifically told you not to cross your legs. And they said you defied doctor's orders and you crossed your legs in the restaurant, and what happened?
I went downhill ever since. I just crossed my ankles. My leg felt so heavy. I just tried to take the weight off of it by putting the one leg under the other and just crossing the ankles. The son of a...
Just throw it out of...
Dislocated.
That was painful.
I have a history of dislocation with my hips.
And disobedience. You disobeyed the doctor.
I will take care of that, doctor, I swear.
A lot of people don't know that when you auditioned for the Mary Tyler Moore Show, that you blew your first audition. By your own admission.
Yes.
Came back in and did another one.
Yes. Well, I dumbfounded them because they said, well, that was a very intelligent reading, which is a euphemism for saying it stunk as far as comedy went. So I realized that. So they said, when we have you back, which, well, that's wonderful. We want you to read it crazy, wiggy, wild, all out.
Right.
With Mary. And I thought, crazy, wiggy, wild, all out. And I started to walk out, and I said, hey, well, listen, let me try it that way now. And if I can't do that, don't have me back with Mary.
Right.
And, I've never done anything like that in my life. They never heard anything like that. So, well, we do have another appointment, but go ahead. So I read it like a lunatic. They laughed their asses off. And when I came back with Mary, and I couldn't remember how did I do it? What did I do? And I just read it stupidly, crazily. And when I walked out of the room afterwards, they laughed very much. When I walked out of the room, she said, "Are you sure?" I said, "That's your Lou Grant."
And then you were. We're going to talk about the Lou Grant show a little bit after this break, but before I do that, very quickly, did you have any inkling that when you transitioned from Mary Tyler Moore to Lou Grant, which had never been done before, with a lead actor going from comedy to drama, and of course you won Emmys for both and never been done before in those categories by the same man. I mean, did you know though when you made the transition that this is going to work, I'm going to be on the air as Lou Grant 5 more years, or did you think, man, I don't know, there must be a reason why people haven't tried this?
That certainly was, and it took us 2 years to realize how to do it right. We had good shows in the meantime, we won Emmys, but going from it's 180 degrees difference, and nobody, producers, writers, crew, nobody knew what it was like to try to take a half-hour comedy show with 3 cameras and make it a 1-hour drama with no audience.
Unprecedented.
And I can see why they'll never do it again.
Well, I want to get into that in just a little bit, but before I do that, we've talked about the MTM studios. And I've talked to folks from, John Macias, Tom Fontana, Mark Tinker, all these guys that have said it was like a college campus, and especially for the young guys coming along, the writers and producers. Right. How would you describe the atmosphere of the MTM studios in those days?
It was heaven, pure, unadulterated heaven. We were all very happy. We had comfortable dressing rooms. The commissary could have stood some improvement, but we're in Studio City. We just walk, you know, and
Walk across the street and get whatever you want.
Yeah, and lots of restaurants nearby. We were in hog heaven, and the crews were the nicest. The producers were the nice. There was no eating your guts out at that studio.
Right.
It was beautiful.
Kind of a lost art.
I call it 7 years of the Yellow Brick Road.
Well, that's a good choice of words.